Imagine this, you're finally done. You stop responding to their calls. To them, attention is like oxygen, and without it, their sense of control starts to crumble. And why that decision might be the most powerful move you ever make. It's like holding a mirror to their face and saying, you no longer have power here. But what actually happens inside their mind when you ignore them? This supply includes attention, praise, admiration, and yes, even conflict. As long as they have your focus, they feel in control. They might lash out, guilt trip you, or suddenly act like the victim. This is called hoovering, a tactic named after the vacuum cleaner, because it's all about sucking you back in. Their goal isn't healing or connection, it's regaining control. If you give in, the cycle continues. But if you stay firm, something different happens. They might accuse you of being cold, selfish, or immature. Why? Because they can't accept being ignored. When a narcissist realizes they no longer have power over you, they often retreat. If the narcissist in your life is aggressive, threatening, or dangerously unstable, ignoring them might not be safe without support. In these cases, it's best to seek professional guidance or help from trusted support systems before making a move. It's not about making them suffer. And in that silence, something amazing happens, not to them, but to you. You begin to heal. You begin to see clearly. You begin to realize that freedom isn't found in fixing them, it's found in finally walking away. It's about choosing you. Choosing peace over chaos. Clarity over confusion. Growth over games. It teaches you that silence can be a boundary. That peace is more powerful than arguing. Then remember this, your silence speaks louder than their manipulation ever could. You're no longer reacting. You're no longer chasing. You're reclaiming your power, one moment of peace at a time. That you don't have to explain yourself to someone who's never really listening. It helps you break free from the emotional roller coaster and regain control over your mind, your emotions, and your sense of worth. But this doesn't mean they've accepted it. Internally, they may feel rejected, humiliated, or even worthless. Because the answer might just be the silence you were afraid to give, but desperately needed to find. But because they struggle to face those feelings, they protect themselves through denial or by shifting the blame. They might try to find a new source of attention quickly, someone else to admire them, argue with them, or chase them. This isn't about love or connection. It's about survival, their need to keep their ego alive. It threatens their illusion of superiority and control. In their mind, your silence is an insult, a wound to their pride. When they don't get one, it disrupts the script they've written in their head. Especially if you've been conditioned to respond to their every mood. They may try harder at first. They may become more manipulative, more charming, or more cruel. But over time, if you stay consistent, they will eventually lose interest, because without supply, they can't maintain the illusion. They expect you to argue, to beg, to explain yourself. But silence? That throws them off balance. It feels like rejection, and rejection is their biggest fear. Whether you're praising them or arguing with them, you're feeding them. Your reactions, your energy, your time, it all becomes food for their ego. How do they feel? How do they react? And why does your silence shake them more than your anger ever could? You leave their texts on read. You pull back, not with rage or drama, but with silence. Narcissists are not just people who love themselves too much, they're individuals with fragile egos, deeply rooted insecurity, and a constant need for external validation. They wear confidence like a mask, but behind it often lies fear, emptiness, and shame. No more justifying yourself. No more reacting to the mind games. Just quiet. That silence? To most people, it's nothing. But to a narcissist, it's thunder. Ignoring a narcissist doesn't just upset them, it deeply threatens their identity. In today's video, we're diving deep into the psychology of narcissism, breaking down what really happens when you ignore a narcissist. To understand what happens when you ignore a narcissist, we first need to understand who they really are beneath the surface. At the core of narcissistic behavior is a psychological fuel called narcissistic supply. So what happens when you suddenly go quiet? When you stop feeding the narcissist what they crave? First, confusion sets in. Narcissists are used to provoking reactions, good or bad. Then comes the second phase, anger. This is where you might see narcissistic rage. It could be subtle or explosive. But not all narcissists explode. Some switch tactics. They may try to win you back through manipulation, apologizing, pretending to change, or suddenly acting loving and attentive. The third phase is withdrawal. And here's what most people don't realize, ignoring a narcissist doesn't just impact them. It transforms you. But be warned, ignoring a narcissist is not always easy. Still, it's important to recognize your own safety. But if you're in a position where you can safely cut off their emotional access to you, ignoring a narcissist isn't about revenge. They may never admit it, but your silence breaks the illusion they desperately try to keep alive. So if you're struggling with whether to respond to the narcissist in your life, ask yourself one thing: do I want to react, or do I want to recover?